Encode your DNA. Define your genetic structure. Choose a genetic resilience. Choose your first style. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick your main color. Choose your detail. Pick your main color. Choose your detail color. Pick a class, mercenary. Mercenary chosen. Sounds good. Here's somebody with a troubled past, drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living. But for you, it's not only a...
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the dark side of you. Your inner voice, to be precise. An echo of the balance and consequence of your actions as you move forward.
Can't believe you'd choose that thing over me.
That thing? I'm right here. Let me remind you, we're two halves of the same. With the
Better half. My way is both better and brighter. Light.
The best end is the one you decide yourself. And it seems we're headed in the right direction.
Guess left can be right sometimes. Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others. Do you remember the beast that shattered your family, or did you choose to forget? You turned your back on our world and got lost in your own. Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger. Better make a run for it. This is not the time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes. The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die. The oil sludge is everywhere. To most, it only means death, but some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways. You're in pain. Look, an emergency box from the once was. A rare sight. That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy. Check out those guns. Whoa! It's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind. Just a few moves left. Make them count. There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how recklessly the Toxanol Corporation would make its mark on the world. Their rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours. The sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of puzzling to short-circuit the door. There you go. The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out. Wow! That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives.
Yeah, move furbo. Boom.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why.
Yeah, you mawa.
He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's
Do wowo.
He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed.
Bebo contabe.
The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad.
Atu wamawa.
The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past.
Atu wamawa.
There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Lupa Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end.
Nuka nuburak.
He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have.
Mpa wherefore where?
Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree. Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this. Magic? He claims it's just the force of life, the existence of energy, powering and connecting all things living, like the Nono. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it, see if you can make one come out of hiding. You found one. The Nono's key energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete it. Only time will tell. At least his intention is to dedicate his life to it. You'll need a net. You handle that net. One day, he hopes the tree... But today... Now that you've seen the Nonno's connection with the tree with your... From this day on, he'll make nurturing the... What? He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Mooma comes looking for... That's not true. She's the...
Pa, wherefore, whereway?
He lost you there for a while, but...
Pa, wherefore, whereway?
He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the tree of life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain. The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it wasn't long after that. The genetic evolution that occurred after the apocalypse, the Toxanol Corporation... His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Nocco has tamed the Midget and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of date, says his friends, are the road ahead. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. Regardless. You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb. Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see. Must be the World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You'll need a hat trick to bring that down. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive.
He's
heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to others. He worries there. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He can't understand why you...
Good work, clever clogs. Let me guide you into the dark.
Ah, you're too sharp to fall for that. Let me guide you into the light.
Wait, what? No!
I always knew you had a good heart.
Just think of yourself, would you?
There's Out-of-Date again. He must have missed something important. Out-of-Date knows the Jagni tribe is likely to be your primary choice as they seek to become omnipresent and, most important, regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy, as the conflict between the tribes is worse than ever, teetering on the brink of war. The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction: to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Baluutulu.
Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the balance of power to either Jagni's or Myriad's side.
Koyetu korebui.
He believes
Honto kontue pon yevun goja.
he'll be waiting for you. Another fork in the road. It's either the tunnel or the motor bridge. What'll it be?